Like we are discussing in the previous lectures, under the Swagger brand name or the trademark, we have good amount of tools that are developed and maintained by the Smart Bear company. Inside this lecture, let me give a very quick introduction about these tools that are maintained under the brand name Swagger. Of course, we are going to use these tools throughout this course a lot. For now, don't worry too much about these tools because here I'm just trying to give a very quick introduction. You can see here, I came to the official website of Swagger, which is swagger.io. If you can observe the logo of this website, under the Swagger name, there is a small tagline saying that supported by Smart Bear. This confirms behind Swagger, there is a company called Smart Bear. This Smart Bear company is developing lot of tools to make developers' life easy. For example, if you ever worked on SOAP related web services, there is a tool to test the SOAP related web services. The tool name is SOAP UI Pro. The same tool is also developed by the Smart Bear. Let's try to understand what tools are available under Swagger. For the same, you can go to this tools tab, and if you can click on it, you'll be able to see details of set of tools. Inside Swagger, all the tools are divided into two categories. The very first category is Pro. That means whatever tools that you are seeing under the Pro, they are commercial tools. Companies, organizations, and individuals, they cannot use these Pro tools at free of cost. They have to pay some money. They have to buy the license. Whereas under the open source category, we have set of tools which can be used by the organizations and developers without paying any money. By the time Smart Bear acquired Swagger, the Swagger core team, they have developed good amount of tools. All those tools, they already open sourced it. So the same tools we can see under the open source category right now as well, which means Smart Bear company, they didn't try to disturb the open source tools. They let them open source even after acquiring the Swagger core team. Instead, whatever new tools that they have developed, they try to commercialize them by putting them under the Pro category. So let's try to understand each of these tools on a high level. Under the open source, first we have a Swagger Code Gen tool. So what is the purpose of this Swag Code Gen tool? Like the name itself is very explanatory. Whenever you have OpenAPI specifications built for your APIs, with the help of this Swagger Code Gen tool, you can generate the server stubs and client SDKs, which can speed up your development. So this is going to be a super savior for the developers. Suppose think like you have developed OpenAPI specification for your REST APIs, and whoever want to consume your REST APIs, with the help of this Swagger Code Gen and the OpenAPI specifications that you have developed, they can easily generate the client SDKs or client-side code based upon various languages like JavaScript, Java, Python. So this code gen supports lot many languages. There is a separate section inside this course where we are going to talk about this tool. After code gen, we have Swagger Editor tool. The purpose of this tool is whenever you are trying to define the OpenAPI specification for your APIs, you're going to write your specification with the help of YAML or JSON. As soon as you try to type your OpenAPI specification, this Swagger editor is going to give you the inline feedback. If you are making any syntax errors, then this Swagger editor is going to alert you immediately and show you the possible recommendations. This Swagger editor is similar to our IDEs like Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ, Eclipse. Just like how developers use these IDEs to get the inline feedback as they type the code, very similarly, we can use this Swagger editor to make our life easy and to develop the OpenAPI specifications fastly without any syntax or compilation errors. And after the Swagger editor, we have a Swagger UI tool. The purpose of this Swagger UI tool is very simple. When you build your OpenAPI specifications with the help of Swagger editor by using the YAML or JSON, your specifications are not going to be super user-friendly because we can't ask others, just look at my YAML configuration or JSON configuration and try to understand about my APIs. So to make our lives easy, we have an Swagger UI tool. The purpose of this tool is if you try to provide the OpenAPI specifications to this tool, it is going to describe your APIs visually, like what your API is going to accept, what is the response it is going to send, are there any validations. All such information we can try to visualize with the help of Swagger UI. This Swagger UI is going to be a savior for business people or any other developers who don't know about the technical details of the OpenAPI specification. Someone who cannot understand about your APIs by reading the OpenAPI specification, they can leverage this Swagger UI to try to understand your APIs visually. After these open source tools, under the pro or commercial category, the very first tool that we have here is Swagger Hub. What is the purpose of Swagger Hub? It's very simple. Just like how we have GitHub or Docker Hub, very similarly, we have Swagger Hub to store the OpenAPI specification details. So what is the purpose of GitHub? Inside GitHub, developers can store the source code, and along with that, they can also maintain the versioning of the source code. They can collaborate with other developers as well while building the source code. Very similarly, under Docker, we have a Docker Hub, which will allow us to store our Docker images and to collaborate with other developers. On the similar lines, we have Swagger Hub. This Swagger Hub tool is going to help the developers to design and document their APIs in a collaborative platform. They can store all their OpenAPI specifications inside this Swagger Hub. They can maintain the versioning of the API specification. On top of this Swagger Hub, we have another tool with the name Swagger Hub Enterprise. Sometimes organizations, they may have thousands of APIs inside their microservices or inside their projects. If you have so many APIs, building OpenAPI specifications for all of them will result in some inconsistency. So to handle such situations, organizations, they can use Swagger Hub Enterprise to standardize their APIs with some predefined standards or style checks or reusable domains. With the help of the Swagger Enterprise, organizations, they can enforce some rules for the developers to follow whenever they're trying to build the OpenAPI specification for a given API. And at last, we have a tool with the name Swagger Hub Explore. Like the name itself is self-explanatory, with the help of the Swagger Hub Explore, we can evaluate already developed APIs inside our organization. For example, your organization might have developed hundreds of REST APIs. Using this Swagger Hub Explore, you can try to test all your REST APIs. Here you may have a question, which is, what is the advantage that I'm going to get if I test my REST APIs with the help of the Swagger Hub Explore? Let me answer your question. Think like your organization first developed all REST APIs. In a hurry, they didn't bother about the OpenAPI specification for the APIs. Maybe once the REST APIs are released into the production or into the market, all the consumers, they started asking the documentation of the APIs. So to handle this scenario very quickly and to get started very quickly in these kind of scenarios, we can use the Swagger Hub Explore. When we test all the APIs with the help of Swagger Hub Explore, behind the scenes, this tool is going to analyze your REST APIs and it is going to give OpenAPI specification instantly for your APIs. And that can be your initial version of your OpenAPI specification. On top of that, you can try to improvise it based upon your business requirements. So that's the power of Swagger Hub Explore. Most of the times, whatever tools that you see under the Pro, they will be used by bigger organizations because they are commercial tools, but not the open source tools. But we as developers, we can try to use them with the help of trial version. Swagger is going to give some trial period. And using this trial period, you can try to explore about all these tools. If you like these tools, you can recommend to your organization also to leverage these commercial tools as well. I hope this makes sense to you. For your quick reference, I also mentioned details about these tools inside a slide. Let me show you that. This is the slide you can always refer whenever you want to quickly understand what are the tools available under the Swagger. I hope this is all clear to you. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next lecture. Bye.